A young human woman peers around the corner, some ways down the road from the arcane assembly hall, eyes locked on 3 figures as they enter. She wears a flowy dress to hide the armor underneath it. In her right hand is a basket of rice, a black metal machete hidden amongst its grains. Her name is Tajima, second in command of the guard and head of the scouts. She's been tailing Eamon off and on since he arrived. It's not every day a drow is found in the fields, and elves are known to be wielders of magic. She has one goal: find out if that is the case with Eamon, and if he can cast spells, what he plans to do with them. But with the guard so short-staffed of late, she hasn't had much time to do so. Without realizing, her mind begins to wander. Thoughts of a cozy bed and dry clothes are whisked away by a thunderous boom from inside, a common occurrence for the assembly hall. Better get some sleep before the night shift, Tajima whispers, before slapping herself awake and slinking off into the shadows. Inside the assembly hall, Eamon, Renastir, and Phosphorus stand in shock, confusion, and excitement. After returning to Quoy with an ample supply of heliconias for Fionn, the party set about finding more work. They met Vasco, a member of the Steel Brands, and agreed to help gather some info for him. Finishing much quicker than they expected, they decided to go to the assembly hall in search of knowledge for Eamon and entertainment for Phosphorus. We now cut to the party as they piece together what exactly just happened. Black smoke pours out of the now vacated left side, and you see a very small man wearing blue overalls, scorch marked all on his front, kind of like Phosphorus a bit. He's coughing and wheezing, and weirdly enough, laughing. His hair's a mess. He's got big, large goggles, and he kind of just yells into the air. Cleanup crew, I need a new wall on the double, please, and thank you.
I would like to run up to him and just be like, sir, are you okay?
He kind of...
Do you need help at all?
Takes off his goggles and watches them. He's like, no, why? Are you the cleanup crew? Can you get rid of this?
I'm not the cleaning crew, no. I just thought you might have gotten hurt.
Nah, he's absolutely fine.
By that.
No.
Sorry.
Cleanup crew! And he just starts to yell around until someone
2319
notices him.
What were you making, friend?
A bomb.
What kind of bomb?
It is basically something to clear debris.
Can I see it?
Well,
can I see the design?
No.
Fair.
Phosphorus, you don't talk at a zoo. Remember what you said about these people. You're here to watch them from afar like a zoo.
Why the interest?
I make bombs. I'll pull off one of my, it's a bottle of lightning, and I'll toss it to him.
Okay. He takes it. He looks at it. He goes, good stuff. He tosses it back. Dill Bilbus.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, too. You ever work Sky Shard?
No.
Shit. What do you guys need?
I'm looking for where you keep perhaps the books and those who can find them for me. I'm here to study.
We don't have a lot of books.
You don't have a lot of books?
I mean, not public books.
Do you have a lot of...
Do you know anybody besides me? I mean, we don't really know each other.
No, I would like to get to know someone who could possibly look into some books for me.
Any specific content?
Yeah, innate magic, please.
At this point, 2 humans come up, and as you guys are having this conversation, he's kind of like pointing at them, and every so often giving them instruction as they like re-put his wall back up. But yeah, you said any sort of
innate magic.
Okay.
You guys study magic here, correct? And you are for magic.
There's people that study magic here. I don't study magic.
Smart man.
But are we talking about natural magic, occult magic, arcane magic?
Looking more in the natural area of innate magic, yes.
Okay. We do have someone here that wields nature magic, not to any major degree, but
I would love to meet this person.
He gives you directions to her cubicle. He says her name is Yinhee.
This is the place that had freelance work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will just look at them like, don't cause too much trouble. I'm gonna go see what work is available.
You say you need work?
Yes.
We got a boy from the city looking for something.
Where is he?
He gives you directions to his cubicle.
Refer back to what I just said, and then I will walk off.
Don't know if I can cause more damage than what's already caused.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's why we have a cleanup crew.
Looks like you're gonna do just fine. We should buy you a cleanup crew.
So you are going to Yinhee's cubicle.
We need money for that.
Are you going to the other one?
Yeah, I'm going to the one that
he sent you to.
If he's willing, I just want to talk shop with him.
Yeah, you can absolutely. Yeah. Make a diplomacy check to make an impression with a +4 circumstance bonus because you know your shit.
20.
20? Yeah. I mean, his temperament towards you raises to friendly. You have made a friend, so to speak.
My second friend.
Yes. Both of which you have connected over bombs
Hey.
with.
Absolutely.
Which is about what it would take for you to reach out to be friends with someone. I'll give you the quick rundown for what you and him would talk about before they kind of like role play through what they would talk about. Because things are more involved. You're kind of just like talking shop, as you say. He's the head of the assembly hall. He is his family of halflings. He's a halfling. Are the people that pioneered the technology to work Skyshard, which is what powers the locomotes. It's also used in the guns. It's basically a blue crystalline material that when you hit it, it gives off concussive force. So obviously it's very hard to work because any like hitting or molding of it could give off force. You basically can't strike it in any way. You have to like bend and twist and cut to work it. The locomotes run off it by they don't have any paddles or anything. They have small engines on the bottom of any of them facing outwards, where a bunch of tiny small little hammers hit them over and over again to propel them forward. So he gives you a rundown on that. Also, he is quite adept in pretty much any crafting field you can think of: inventions, bombs, alchemy, all that kinds of stuff. So Eamon, as you kind of turn the corner to the right and you look into the cubicle, it's filled with plots and plants, ranging from kind of small flowers to everything up to a pretty decent-sized bush. There's a woman kneeling down next to one of the smaller pots. Her hand is caressing the plant leaves as green, almost like water drops of magic fall and linger along the hand's path on the plant. She has a slender frame, stands about 6 feet. She has a verdant green skin, vibrant purple hair, braided down the back and left side of her head. She has bulging purple eyes, no pupils, long pointed ears, and sharp facial features. Her ears kind of perk up in a similar way that yours do, where she just kind of like hears something approach. And she stands and looks and she says, "Can I be of service?"
Hi, my name's Eamon. You are Yinhe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I was told to come talk to you if I wanted to maybe look into some books on perhaps innate nature magic. I was told you practice nature magic. I mean, obviously you do, but I know it can vary in its kind. Just wanted to come make an introduction and see what you do here.
What is your name?
My name's Eamon.
Good to meet you. Yes, anything in particular?
I was just wondering if you guys had any collections of literature at all on innate magic, specifically sort of innate nature magic. I would just like to get a little more versed in my reading.
I have some books on nature magic as a whole. They are not all innate, but there might be something that could help you.
Yeah. I mean, and at this point, I'll take anything. Are these books for sale? Are they to check out like a library style? Are these just yours that you're
Not for sale. They are mine. But
Okay.
you, as long as you do not take them, you can come here and read them anytime you would like.
okay? Yeah, that would be great. I don't know if we have time for that
I
today necessarily.
don't mean to assume, but do you speak and read? More importantly, do you read Elvish?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
They are all in Elven dialect.
I start speaking to her in Elvish,
Okay. She like perks up a bit.
and I just want to say, I don't mean to assume or anything, and of course this isn't me saying that you have anything to do with this at all, but recently my friends and I have been on some errands outside of town, and
The plants. Everyone comes to me for the plants. I do not know anything about them. I did not make them.
I was mostly interested in the first question, not so much the second part.
Okay. Well, I do know things about them, but I don't tell them to people because I don't like them when they come to ask.
Well, what about me? I sort of like whisper in English. I say, I too have capabilities to practice a little bit of magic, not quite like you, but
Really? Can I?
Slightly, yes.
I can't do hardly anything.
Yeah.
She just like does the trickle thing. All it does is restore plants.
If there's
all I can do.
like dirt on one of them, I want to cast prestidigitation and like tidy off the dirt.
Okay.
So I just like whisk my hand a bit and say something, and the dirt just like off of it.
Almost with like a childlike wonder. She goes, "Oh, that's good." And she gives like a little clap.
There's
She says,
not a whole lot more than that, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So the plants.
Yes.
The plant things. I do not know where they come from, but they are souls stored in a vessel.
I pull out the stone. I say, "This."
Yes, those. I have given this information to the guards, the captain specifically, but without examining a live one or further information, I wouldn't know much more. They're easily killed.
Yeah.
They're not as resilient as some animated plants are.
How long have they been here? Do you know? I'm fairly new to town. I'm sure you knew kind of right off the bat. People, I imagine, came right to you as soon as it started.
About half a year.
Half a year, okay. This has been a long-standing issue then.
Yes, it has been getting worse of late. So if anyone asks you, I do never send them my way.
No worries. I understand wanting to get into your studies and not be bothered. No problem at all. Anyway, would you mind if I just like had a place to sit? I'll just sit and read a bit until my friends
Yeah, she kind of looks
deem
around.
it time to go.
And there's like a desk, but not really a chair because everything's just covered in plants. And she's like,
I just find a place to crisscross on the floor. It's all good.
Perfect.
Perfect. I just sort of grab whichever one she either hands to me or she points to a
she
shelf
would
or something.
point you in a specific direction. She would give you like a stack of 3 books first.
Cool. I just start flipping through, seeing if I find anything that piques my interest.
Perfect. Renister. You turn a corner again. You're in the same kind of general area of the hall, but you're not like right next to each other in terms of where you and Eamon are going. You look into the cubicle. You see a desk. There looks like some sort of very old map laying on the desk. Obscuring the desk is the back of a catfolk, his tail whipping from left to right on the floor, his orange fur shines in the sunlight with black stripes resembling a tiger's. He turns to you, got white undershirt, a brown vest tunic, and a pristine pocket square, perfectly folded in place in his left breast pocket. Hello?
Hello. Is this the same?
Yep, this is the catfolk you helped earlier. He looks to you with zero recognition in his eyes.
You were getting mugged a couple of days ago, no?
Oh, for context, you guys traveled 14 days to get here, so it'd be like 2.5 weeks ago.
Which city was that?
Moila.
Moila. You were in Moila a couple of weeks ago, weren't you?
Yes.
Do you remember getting mugged? Shaken down for protection?
Possibly.
Little important. I heard you had some work. I'm assuming you're the one.
Yes, I remember. I remember.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What about it?
Oh, I was just there.
Do you need and he starts to take out his wallet.
Need the... Oh, no.
The payment.
There wasn't payment. You were getting mugged. Never mind. I heard you had work available currently.
Oh, yes, yeah. Uh-huh.
I was looking to see what you might need help with.
Yes, I need help getting to a place. I've been told to not leave the city walls, but it's outside the city walls, so I need to go there. So I don't know, but I'm going to go. I would like protection, but if I don't find it, I'll just head out myself.
I don't recommend it. There is a lot out there, but where do you need to go exactly?
A dead pond.
May I ask what you hope to find there?
It was the home to a dryad. Do you know what that is? Dryad.
Don't think
It's
so.
a plant thing, whatever. It died, but the pond died as well, so I need samples.
Okay. Well, I have companions. We've traveled out into the wilderness before and are acquainted with some of the pitfalls and dangers that come with that. What would you be offering as far as payment for protection?
I can give you this. And he takes out onto the table 5 gold pieces and a pink, pretty decently sized wax candle. And he says, this is a book wax candle. So I'm sure you know what that is.
No. What?
Okay.
What is that?
It's a magic candle.
What does the magic do?
When you burn it, it answers your questions.
Does it?
You really have never seen one of these before?
No, I can't say that I have.
You're strange.
I get that a lot.
Me too.
Fair enough. What? Well, if you ask a question, does it know the answer?
I'll show you.
Oh.
He takes one much further burned down, and he sets it. And he goes, "What is your name?"
Renester.
Renester. Weird.
What
is a fact about you? Can you breathe underwater?
No.
Do you?
I can. I have a capability to prevent myself from taking damage from a decently high height. Pull little flaps at my legs.
Okay, that'll do. And he strikes up a match and he lights the candle and he says, "So, you state either a group of things or thing." So as he lights it, he says, "Renester."
Renester.
Well, he says it.
Okay.
You don't have to repeat me.
Okay. No repeat. I won't repeat.
Yes. No. Don't. Yes. No repeating. He lights it. Candle lights, and then you ask it a question related to either the specific thing or the group. Does Renester have flaps under his wings or under his arms? I hope that normally you're not supposed to misspeak, so I hope it caught it, he says. And then he says if it burns a smell of a sweet smell, the answer is yes. A stinky smell, the answer is no. And if it's acidic smell, the answer it is undetermined. And you guys wait like a good 10 seconds and sweet smell starts to come.
Does it have a accuracy of 100%?
All the knowledge of the assembly.
Oh, I could see the use in that.
It works about 3 times.
3 times. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is my last, as it starts to like unnaturally burn quickly all over the table, and he goes, "Oh shit!" and he grabs the map out of the way.
Oh, careful with that.
Yeah.
Well, when do you plan on going on this expedition?
Whenever you are ready.
I will converse with a pair of my compatriots and get you
2
an answer.
more.
Yes.
Are they? Do they like the woods?
Like is a very strong word. They are willing. Willing is also a strong word. They
will
see,
go.
They see the value in work. That's also strong. Oh, they're 2 able-bodied people. That's all you really need to know.
Okay. Well, here are these, and he hands you the gold and the things, and he goes, "Tell me when you're ready."
Okay. I'll be right back.
Bye.
Turn around and leave.
It is so good that was not me doing this. So I would have just taken the rewards and fucking left.
Yep. So yeah, how long do you want to wait there?
Maybe I'll kind of like poke my head out of the cubicle and just see like, do I see?
Yeah, you would see Renester like going back to the front, I would assume, to talk to Phosphorus.
Yeah, as I see Renester kind of walking back, I look back to Yinhe and I just say in Elvish, "Thank you very much for your time. I might be back sometime soonish to do some more reading. Thank you very much.
I look forward to it.
Maybe if I can catch you a sample, I'll bring it back
What?
of the animated plants.
Oh yes, thank you.
Is there any? Never mind. We can talk about it
No, I
later.
get. Yeah. Okay.
Have a good day.
You too. The books. None of them are labeled, or have any titles or anything. They appear to be all personally written by her. But yeah, you guys all meet back up at the front.
It's just like on fire.
No, the wall has been fixed, and you're probably in there, and he's just showing you. He is a full just workshop of basically everything you would need.
Did you guys find what you need?
I have a lead for some work.
Do I see you holding like money and things?
And a candle.
Yeah, I mean, probably still have them out.
Yeah.
I say, what? Where'd you find that?
It's down payment?
He paid you ahead of time?
Yes.
Man, I guess not very smart.
We are going to do the work if we keep
Technically, you don't know it's the same guy yet, but...
No, I know. I just said that guy's just not very smart.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
What kind of work? Wait, we're on a totally different job right now. What do you?
I mean, we're technically finishing a job.
All we have to do is go tell them the information. All I gave him was that we would potentially...
If I've learned anything, that shit is way more complicated than you hope it will be. Most times.
Really?
Most times.
I've not learned that lesson at all.
Hey,
I don't know. We went and killed a baby and got some plants.
Dill says, can you... I'm kind of busy. As he looks around to like...
Go. My apologies.
As you guys just... unintentionally or not, you kind of just like walked in, started having the conversation because he was in there.
Yeah.
But
did Yin-He in her books spark any kind of interest, or did it all sound very plant related?
No, only because you didn't really have a lot of time. You would have been in there for 5 to 10 minutes, which isn't a lot of time to go through a book. So it's definitely something you can put a lot of time into once you have like in bulks of hours.
Yeah.
But it looks like something that might help. You just didn't really have enough time to really get into the nitty gritty of it, so to speak.
Sounds good. There's nowhere else in town that's like a literature spot. No colleges or libraries or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Very
Educated
agriculture-focused town.
Yeah,
we don't need your kind around here.
Yep. So I'll probably, if the group's cool with it, I just say like, so should we just reconvene at the Emperor's pub?
Yes, we should definitely meet back there. We can turn in with our friend, and then I have another job lined up for most likely tomorrow.
Man, we'll be out of here in no time with that kind of cash coming in that quickly.
Nah, it'll disappear.
Maybe for
Is
you.
that a comment or a threat?
Statement.
Okay, so back to the pub.
We get our own rooms.
Is everyone on board for this job? You didn't ask what it was, but
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
you didn't ask. I came with a candle and gold, and
so no. I would say no.
Do I have
if
a
I don't
choice?
know what it is?
no.
But I do. So what are we talking about?
Then no.
This could be an opportunity for you for your what I lightly call sciences. Unfortunately, this would involve. Unfortunately, this would involve the forest or jungles again.
Oh, great.
I'm fine.
It appears that there is some sort of dryad that has died near a pond, and you remember that? You remember that cat fellow who was getting mugged?
Yeah, the idiot.
Well, apparently he hasn't learned many lessons. He's hired us on to protect him. He has some research to attend to at this pond where some dryad has died at. Apparently, and he's given me as this down payment a trinket, a candle that can answer questions with 100% certainty, depending on the...
100% of the time? 60%?
Have I ever heard of something like that before?
Is it like a complex answer or a yes or no thing?
Yes or no?
Oh.
No.
You can understand its uses.
What about a dryad?
Oh, a dryad? Is that what you're asking about? Or the
First
candle?
the candle, second dryad.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you've probably never encountered one, obviously, but it's kind of one of the staples of nature magic in the world. So it probably came up in your younger years when you had a mentor about the magic of dryads are basically normally in the form of a woman made of plant matter or wood or some sort of plant matter that protects a specific part of a forest or a whole forest, but resides at a specific spot. They almost always exist in like one specific area, normally tied to an aspect of nature. They're technically nymphs, I think they're called, which are a broader sect dryads are just forest-focused nymphs. There's like water-focused and weirdly enough, like cave-focused nature, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So on the way back, I just want to sort of ask more details about what the job is. So there's this dryad, and you said it's already dead. And there's a cat person that's an idiot.
Okay, well, that doesn't have to be specified directly to him, especially considering he is our de facto employer. But with that being said...
Well, he already paid us.
As a down payment, we will honor our words.
But yeah, you are back in the Emperor's Inn pub. It is mid to late afternoon, so 2, 3, 4, around that area. We'll say 3 to 4. I don't know, I'm not going to give you a 2-hour gap.
I checked my watch.
Between 3 and 4.
Check my sundial.
But yeah, there you are. Vasco, same booth, sitting as he normally does, slightly positioned towards the door.
How's he looking? Does he look normal? Frustrated?
How's the porridge looking?
But I wouldn't say frustrated in any way. He's just sitting there. But do you want an in-depth look at?
No.
Or just general immediate vibe?
I mean, I'm sure he would probably look up and see us walk in and stuff like that.
His face brightens
What do you
in a
mean?
smile.
He wouldn't notice us. We don't stick out.
Not me. I'm just underscum.
He just he gives all of you a nod.
I look to Renister and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'll just
lead the way.
go and slide into the booth across from him and let them follow suit.
Yep. I'll just go and pop a squat next to him.
He scoots over a bit.
By him, I mean Vasco.
Okay, yeah. He scoots over a bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay. You go to the bar. There's the same dwarven man that you guys talked to last time you were here behind the bar. Greet you with a nod. It's not super busy in here. It's kind of between busy hours.
Take another whiskey.
Coming right up. He gets that for you.
How tall
One
are you
silver.
in relation to this counter?
Last time it was
Phosphorus.
1 silver, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like 3 to 4 feet.
Okay.
I hunch a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell what the actual height is.
You have bad rat posture.
Horrible posture.
When he stands
He
fully up,
probably
he's 6 feet
the
tall.
bar is probably just a little above his head.
Okay.
Probably.
Cool.
If he's slouching a bit.
I guess as I sit next to Vasco, I just want to say, how was the, did you turn anything up from the Farmers Guild?
Nothing.
That is where you went? Okay. Well, I mean, once Phosphorus comes and sits down, we can probably tell you we each, respectively, found some information that you might find helpful.
Both leads happen to bring up information that led us to a similar conclusion.
Okay.
So I say, well, Renister, why don't you tell them what you two found at the, you guys went up into one of those large trees, didn't you?
That is correct.
More
We
of a
went into
residential district?
one of the more residential areas in town, and we came across somebody who happens to facilitate forgeries for various different things. In this particular case, allegedly, pretty substantially. In this particular case, this gender that you are looking for, we have come to find he is now under the alias of Spencer Tilrem. He's working as a dock worker, as well as he usually tries to keep himself covered up to withhold attention from himself.
You see, as you start to talk, he stops eating, even though he's probably halfway through this bowl, and he takes out a small journal that he basically just takes notes on what you're saying in. Yeah.
Otherwise, to my knowledge, he has not changed his appearance at all, other than that he just tries to stay obscured from, basically lie low as much as possible.
Good tactic.
Yeah. And I went down to the docks as well and asked a few questions around, and came up with the same name. And he is a sort of night shift worker. And I actually, I just tell him at the time that they told me at the docks.
Yeah, basically,
just sort of when it comes in, is it like midnight or something?
The docks function similar to a hospital in our world, where it's like you do a 12-hour shift.
Yeah,
8 to 8 is normally what happens. The night is 8 to 8 through the night, and the day shift is 8 to 8 during the day. And then you get some days off. The dock workers more than normal because they work 12-hour shifts. But yeah, they, so he would be there really at any time between 8 to 8.
Yeah. I just say, yeah, he's a night shift worker at the docks. Should be there anytime that the rest of them are. I mean, other than that, yeah, he's using the same alias, the same one that Minister and Phosphorus came up with. Other than that, I mean, I'm not sure what else you might need. Is there anything else that could be helpful? Or
that should do it. You guys sure work quick. Thank you.
Split the party.
He doesn't look, I wouldn't say like overjoyed, but there's a level of, I didn't really know what level of competence to expect. And you basically found out the two most important pieces of information that he needed in like 3/4 of a day, if that, if not 2/3. So he takes out a small lockbox that's kept in a small pouch, and you see it has almost dials on it, kind of like a padlock would, and it pops open, and he gives you guys 12 gold instead of 10, and he says as he puts it on the table, he says for speed of delivery or speed of work.
Wow. Thanks.
So if you guys split it evenly, that's 4 for each of you now.
3 for him.
Okay.
I think I should take one back because I got paid 1 for the information.
I'll let it slide this time.
Oh, that's, yeah, because you paid her, you bribed her 1 gold, you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
Not bribed. I paid for information.
Well, yeah. Sorry,
you
did I say
don't have to
bribe?
It was a business transaction.
You don't have to be
Damn
coy
it.
with the DM. I don't think
Yeah.
he's-
That's what I was going to say. I love that you're staying on brand, where even with the DM, you're like, I don't know.
I don't
what
know.
a bribe
Is it bribery?
No, it's not a bribery.
No crime was committed here.
Correct.
I say, thank you. I'm glad we could be of quick service to you. Is there anything else that you need help with while you're here in town, or are you going to be heading out pretty quick?
Hopefully I'll be gone by the dawn.
Yes, to my knowledge, we didn't do anything conspicuously enough that you shouldn't have any difficulty apprehending him quite handily. I don't think he was tipped off in any capacity.
That's good to know. Well, I'm going to go get some rest because I think I might be up for the night.
Sounds like a plan. And of course, if for some reason, if we cross paths again and you need any other assistance, I will gladly come to your aid.
If you're ever in Wakuzana, that's probably where I'll be for a bit.
I have the feeling I might be there at some point.
Have you ever been before?
Yes, I have personal connections into the city.
Gotcha. Well, if you've been there, you probably know where to find the steel brands.
Certainly.
As I kind of look over at Vasco, I kind of catch the hint and scoot out of the booth so he can get out.
Yeah, he was about to be like, all right, go.
All right, man, well,
It's
have a
not
good
thing where
night.
it's
And I
like,
just
I
stay
need to go to
put.
the bathroom. Yeah, he just crawls under. But yeah, he gets up. You see him scarf down the half of the pores that's left as he walks, and he leaves it on the counter, and he goes upstairs to rooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, this is a good chunk of change.
I need more.
Yes, I'm quite pleased with how smoothly that mission went. Thankfully, no bloodshed was had, so I'd consider it an all-around win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weirdly enough, the 2 leads you had were a forger and just talking to a business person, and you have someone who's very competent at just talking to anybody, and someone who knows a lot about illegal things.
Well,
so,
I am never fully confident.
that's fair.
Not gonna
is not a
lie,
possibility.
I was
not
not-
once have I failed you.
You
I was-
fail me every day.
I was expecting much more risk than there was. So if we keep these kinds of jobs up, I'm in.
Just give it time. It'll happen.
I would not hold such optimism, unfortunately, in a world such as ours.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe someone can catch
when
fire.
working for a nurse is more dangerous than working for the steel brands. It's how you know things are a bit.
There was
Upside down.
no weird plant babies, so it's very nice.
Yeah. So, can you briefly explain to me a little more, Renister or Phosphorus? It looks like you both knew that feline chap that you guys were talking to in
Yes.
the Arcane Assembly. Were you friends with him in a past life?
No.
Not necessarily. On our travel here before we found safe passage through a caravan, we came across this individual being shaken down by some of the local ruffians. In the process, I was able to make them scatter away. Apparently, that is just something I can do. Is anybody being
Just make people soil themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I've always thought of myself as having quite the welcoming personality myself.
That's not true whatsoever.
No one
Between the
cares
two
what
of you,
think.
I agree.
Well, I think so. I would like to think so. I'm quite personable.
No.
Anyone could talk to me.
Not a no.
You're book smart. What do you know?
So you found this feline creature being shaken down by some ruffians,
Yes.
and you scared the ruffians off.
Yes.
And where were you when this happened? Like far away?
We were in Moyle at the time.
Is about a week and a half. Oh, here's another thing of importance. A week in this world is 10 days. So every month is just 3 weeks for the ease of things. So it's about a week and a half. So 14, 15, 16 days, depending on how quickly you travel. By foot, it would be that. Probably be half that if you took the locomotive. But yeah, it's the city that serves as the between point between here and Wakuzana. They're all not exactly, but they're all kind of in a vertical line
North
with
to
each
south,
other.
yeah.
And Moyla's kind of in the middle.
We interacted with him at our previous juncture when we were looking for safe travel into the city. He happened to be one of the involved with one of our other options available, but ultimately we decided to travel with Vasco and a very standard goblin man.
Might.
Yeah.
He took quite the interest in the rat's concoctions,
He
much to
burned
my
an entire
dismay.
field.
You what?
He
What?
burned an entire field.
Were there any monkeys there?
I don't know, but it was.
I don't
it
think
was
he
a dry
cares.
field.
I don't think he cares. I think he
I mean, the monkeys could have seen it coming. They could leave.
I don't like your mentality on casualties.
So okay,
Fire's a natural
so you
thing.
see him
Not
at the.
the way you do it.
Is he I mean, you can't just be working at the Arcane Assembly and not have some sort of skills or some sort of. Do you
He's a
know what his
moron.
what his job description is?
Surface level, I know he's like some sort of like either like business person or like a
We're talking about Prykkys.
The
Yeah.
Catfolk.
man, the cat.
Uh-huh.
He's a researcher
he's a researcher. Gotcha. Okay.
with almost zero street smarts.
Because the individual Yin He that I talked to at the Arcane Assembly very much seemed like a very intelligent, maybe like sought after as far as skills go, things like that. And based on the way you're talking about Prykkys, that's not so. And you walked out with coin.
Yes, he has a job for us. He's
And he already paid you?
Like a down payment or like a first installment, or do we have interest going?
It's complete payment.
Did you split the coins with us?
I was going to get to that when I explained what we are doing. Yes, so I interacted with him. He seems to be a very work-oriented individual. Doesn't seem to care too much about specifics other than what is readily at hand. So as far as I know, he's just a researcher for the Arcane Assembly.
Yeah, for the general gist, because all of you would be at least aware of this, the Arcane Assembly is pretty in terms of large organizations. They don't have any, they're not super strict in any degrees. If you remember, you kind of just do whatever you want to do and that you can do. So very presumably he does research on something that has to do with like this dead dryad or whatever. He didn't mention specifics, but most of them are academic types. They are also the most common group that you would find spellcasters in.
Cool. So as Renisteer and Phosphorus are explaining this catfolk researcher to me, I just say, so how? And he wants us to go check out this supposed dead
He wants
dryad
us-
or bring back some samples, or
He wants us to accompany him as he
Oh.
researches this area. From what I've seen of him, he probably will need it.
If he didn't mention it, he would have mentioned that he won't need, unless something crazy has gone on there, he won't need to be there long.
Right.
Mostly what he would need to do is collect samples.
Yes.
to
Well,
bring back.
he just needs to collect samples relating to the area, but he has intel that the area might not be very safe, and from what I've seen of him, he definitely could use protection.
Yeah.
He's not very capable in that regard, at least from what I've seen.
For the record, why he has asked for protection is, as you guys know, as you've heard from a couple of people now, that the city has had a lot of problems with these animated alive plant things, and bandits. You
Bandit
run into them
gang.
and all, but so most people are advised to not travel unless they have a very specific reason.
That was going to be my next question, was about the bandit gang.
Yeah.
Do
You guys have
we-
heard nothing specific on that. You're just
Yeah.
aware that it exists.
We had heard that bandits were around. That was going to be my next question, was have I heard anything about like a name, or just in
Not
general
yet.
there's just a lot of bandit attacks?
You, depending on what you want to do, you are in a settlement, and you can always spend an hour or a couple hours to do a diplomacy activity called Gather Information, where you just look into things that are relevant to where you are. That's always something you can do. Any of you could really do that on anything.
Sure.
But
If we get a break at some point today in game,
mhm.
or like a few hours to kill,
Well, I think
that's probably what I
I
would
mean,
do.
I think we have that now.
yeah,
Yeah. I just mean once
Prykkys
this
said-
conversation's over and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Prykkys said he wanted to let him know as when you guys are leaving, because he kind of already paid you.
Yeah,
But-
that's what I was going to get to.
So he just wanted it to be within the next couple days. So
Sure.
whatever.
What I will specify is that he plans on leaving regardless, and as much as this sounds like an ordeal, I don't feel right about leaving somebody who could be doing potentially positive work for the city on his own, especially with how things are around the city right now.
I think we should probably take the day, split up, go find information, and reconvene.
Are we on board with this, though? I need to let him know, otherwise he may head off on his own.
Yeah, I mean, I can always, like I said, I have some medicinal tools and things like that with me. So I don't know how I'll be as far as standing guard goes, but if he'll have me and he's willing to throw coins my way, just like he was throwing them your way, I'd be happy
How much
to
did he give me?
happy to
again?
join.
5 gold pieces.
Okay.
The book wax candle.
I
We
I have
odd numbers.
something you might potentially like, Rat. I will say this, that if you agree to give it your all for this particular cause, I will let you have this bookwork candle, is it?
Book wax.
Book wax.
This is what it's
This book wax candle, you can ask it questions that the Arcane Assembly might know, and it will give you pretty accurate information if it 100% accurate information if it knows the answer to it.
like some sort of
Basically,
giant encyclopedia.
Repository
to,
of
to
information.
infer on how he said it and how you saw it function. If you get a yes or a no, he's 100% confident that that is correct.
Gotcha.
It's just there is a chance that there's
It
a
doesn't
don't know,
know, yeah.
or it's like if you ask a question that isn't yes or no, you'll always get that. It's like, what is this dragon's favorite kind of food? Like it's never you're never going to get that answer.
And there's 2 questions remaining on it. Is that
There's
right?
3.
Oh, 3.
The one that he used
Oh,
as
is
an
it different?
example was a different one that
Burned
was the
down
last
to a
one, but you
puddle.
can use 3 times.
You can ask this questions.
The broader the range of the question, the more likely it is that it will have an answer. So, like, if you're asking about a specific dragon, I don't know why I'm using dragons for example. If you're asking about a specific dragon, it's less likely than if you're like, is a red dragon's breath weapon, do they breathe fire? Like that is almost assuredly going to be a yes. But yeah. And it burns sweet if it's a yes, a bad smell if it's a no, and then a kind of sour smell if it's
Lavender.
undetermined.
Do you agree to that payment?
Yes,
Don't waste it all in one place.
I will.
I know. And
So
I
what do
will,
you give him?
I gave him the book
Candle?
wax candle yeah,
Okay.
as his payment. And then I'll give him 3 gold and I'll keep the 2.
Thank you. Thanks for
Payment
Yeah.
in advance.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he'll give us a bonus or something. If we really have to save his hide, I will probably press further.
Phosphorus, you make various potions of different kinds, right? things like that, as well as obviously bombs.
Yeah, it is. Or if you don't remember, you have
Elixirs.
You have drink in one of his healing elixirs by now. I believe you took it after you fought the baby.
Yeah, he just handed me one. But as far as like, I haven't seen him make anything.
Yeah, I'm just reminding you if you didn't forget, if you had forgot that you have consumed something that he's given you. I remember because you were like, "Is this cool, Renister?" He's like, "Yeah, it's what's alright."
Yeah. So phosphorus, are they? How much do things like that normally cost? I've never really needed to buy a whole lot of.
Far
those
cheaper
before.
for me to make them.
Yeah.
Per day to day, I can make a specific amount. So, if you wish to carry a couple, I can make a couple for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to pay you for the time if you.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. How much you charging?
Let's do a silver a piece.
Deal.
Most of the store-bought stuff you're buying for the brand anyway.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I was kind of raised on big box stores, so I don't really know. I'll just toss you 2 silver.
I'll give you 2 bottles of elixir.
Sweet. Thank you. Wow.
Minor elixir?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 26. And you get a +1 save to poisons and disease.
For a minute after you drink
I
it.
need that badly.
What is your guys' plan?
So
Probably leave tomorrow with Prykkys?
Yes.
And then
I would
take
probably
the rest of the day to do some...
I'd let Prykkys
Things?
know. That
Yeah,
we're
that's
on
definitely
board.
something you can just go do and have to roleplay. What would you guys like? You don't have super long. You would have like, because most downtime. For stretches of time like this, where the party is doing more long form tasks, where the minute details aren't too important, I'll step in and just give you those bits that are important. So, here's a quick rundown of what our lovable little party does for the rest of the day. Eamon gathers some coin from the others and heads to the general store to pick up supplies for the coming job with Prykkys. He buys a rain catcher, 2 tents, one for himself and one for Phosphorus, and 3 more jars of amber jam for his flash beetle lantern. Afterwards, he hangs around the pub, getting some folks to warm up to him and learning more about how he ended up here. They tell him the word on the street is that a guard found him an hour west of town, just south of the rice fields that stretch for a couple hours west of Koi. No tiny plant creatures in sight, and while still wounded, he was at no risk of death when found. Eamon knows he was nowhere close to Koi when he went unconscious in the jungle after his shipwreck, so if anything, this just raises more questions for him. Phosphorus heads back to Kipu Tree Da, looking for information on both the bandits and the woodsmen. The common folk don't know anything about the woodsmen that our party doesn't already know, but he does learn some about the bandits. They have no formal name, though since they have only targeted the locomotes so far, everyone refers to them as the River Bandits. They've taken to raiding the locomotes that travel the southern stretch of the Wakata River that links Koi to North Thrognern. They tell him one of the main reasons the city is having so much trouble is thanks to a good chunk of guards needing to be assigned to the locomotes now. Renister goes to speak with as many guards as he can about the woodsmen. They tell him that, unlike the bandits, there doesn't seem to be any pattern or reason behind their attacks. They have only been seen alone or in pairs of 2, and some of the guards have noticed that some of the woodsmen go down easier than others. They don't really know why, though, or how to identify the ones that do. After wrapping up with the guard, Renister, the religious man he is, heads to the chapel in Koi. We cut to him standing right outside its doors. It is a long, very chapel-esque building. There is a mini garden in the back that looks like it grows more of like flowers and such, not like food, but just things for visual flair. And as you enter, there's just a big open chamber with pews that line up to a slight stand where someone would talk. There's no podium or anything. It's just like slightly elevated. And then there are 2 alcoves next to the entrance to the right and left that have 2 statues on them of stone. And there is, to the right of the stage, there is a small area where it looks like you can open a door to go in somewhere to the back or to somewhere else. And there is a human woman, short dark hair, basic black robes, or gray robes, and a black shawl. The most noticeable thing as she turns up and looks at you is that she has a big tattoo basically covering her whole face. It's a solid black line running from the top left of her forehead all the way down to her right jawline. And then another line starts at the base of her left jawline and curves around and connects to the top.
Would I know if this is, or can I try
Religion,
to figure out
yeah.
if it's a
Why don't
religious
you roll
thing?
religion?
That is a 19 for religion.
Yeah, you're well aware that if it is anything, It is probably the symbol of Grim, which is the god or the chosen of death that watches over the boneyard, who resides under Tyne, which is the goddess of like fate and time and all of that.
Gotcha.
But Grim, they watch over the boneyard and reside over watching the dead specifically. They're not a chosen of undeath or like the dead, but they are a chosen of... They basically protect the dead is what they do. They're the head honcho of the boneyard, which, if you don't remember, is where all souls go to die and then are judged, so to speak, and then move on to the afterlife of somewhere else.
So Tyne is the big god, and then Grim is the chosen.
Tyne is the divine that Grim is under.
Yes, and then Grim's the chosen. Okay, cool.
And yeah, she is just sweeping a bit between the pews. She has a very calming presence, and she just looks up to you as you come in and gives you a nod and kind of puts the broom down and approaches you.
Hello, follower of Grim. I have come to seek guidance from my divine. Is this... I don't know the local customs. Is this more of a general chapel, or is there any shrines of any kind?
Yes. We have 2 shrines. One to Tezetios and a shrine of Stone Mother Leno. But in general, we are a open chapel, as long as you do not disrupt or actively worship some of the more tainted divines, so to speak.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Do you need assistance in your prayer?
No, I appreciate it, though. I will most likely be keeping to myself.
Well, my name is Kuhara. If you need anything, just let me know.
Thank you very much.
And she goes back to sleeping. There's the 2 alcoves, like I said, for the statues. The statue on the... If you're facing the pews, the statue on the right is Tezetios. It is a... it's not really a conventional statue of like a fully chiseled out of stone figure. It's more of a flat, almost like mural. There's 2 sides to it, and it just depicts a large dragon kind of just sweeping over a mountainscape. In the back of it depicts a similar mountainscape, but with a humanoid figure with long flowing hair just sitting atop one of the mountains.
Okay. I will just go over and, like, clasping my emblem on my necklace, I'll just, like, say a general prayer of,
Give us protection and guidance as we make our way out into danger, and keep us from corruption, and keep our minds forward, like that, on the task at hand, like the just general sort of stuff like that, and
just general prayers like that.
Perfect. You do notice that she stops sweeping very clearly to not disrupt, and she goes to a less loud task of like of not just
hammering
on the floor,
nails in.
honestly. But yeah, you do that. Anything else you would like to do there?
I would just like is it pretty? I'm assuming it's pretty well kept.
The chapel in general? Yeah.
Just the shrine in particular.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it looks regularly cleaned. There, you do notice it's not really a place, or it doesn't look like a place where you like leave offerings. There's not a lot of room for that.
Gotcha.
But it's just like a depiction of a religious symbol. Maybe since they're the 2 here, the 2 most prominent.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then in that case, I would just, once I've finished up my prayers, I'd stand up and, like, as I'm leaving, just, like, give her a nod.
Yeah,
and then
she nods back.
Have a nice evening.
You as well. Okay, everyone goes, unless there's anything else you guys want to do?
In the room, in the inn we're staying.
Okay, yes.
Do something.
Yes.
I like to pull out that candle.
Okay, you pull out the candle.
Yep, and I light it.
You light it.
And the first question I ask is the Philosopher's Stone real?
It would burn a sweet smell, which you know is the answer of yes.
And then, does the Arcane Assembly have one?
2 out of 3.
Interesting. It would burn. It would burn a acidic smell,
So no.
which means the answer is not definitively yes or no. It is undetermined.
I'll save my last question.
Okay. All of you sleep and rise. You guys would need to leave through the east gate, which is almost never used, specifically because there is not really any way to cross the river other than the bridge that's in town. I mean, there is a way, but you'd have to just like swim across, which Prykkys doesn't want to do. Weirdly enough, on brand, a catman does not like getting wet. So
I feed him catnip.
But yeah,
Whoa, man.
he is there waiting for you. He has a large backpack, slightly hunched under its weight, and a kind of bound book he holds to his chest. And he has a staff that looks more akin to like a walking stick than anything.
I'm the only one that hasn't like actually met him yet, right?
Yeah, technically,
Okay.
yes. Also, to remind you of just generally what he looks like, he is a catfolk. So basically, a bipedal cat with a fur pattern similar to a tiger's. Orange fur, black stripes. He wears a button-up white shirt and a brown vest with a pocket square.
I just want to, if he greets you guys, I imagine he does when we walk up. But once
Yeah.
that's done,
He gives
I'd like
not really a wave, but like a excited raised hand.
Hello, my friend. This is a addition to our retinue. His name is Eamon. He is, to my knowledge, someone who handles the arcane arts as well.
While that may not be my forte, I do have a healer's kit and some medicinal tools, and just an extra set of eyes on the road might be helpful. What was your name again? I reach out my hand to shake his paw.
Yeah. Prykkys.
Prykkys, pleasure to meet you. Yeah, so if it's okay with you, I would be happy to join.
What
And,
arcane arts? What does that entail for you?
I just use prestidigitation and like sort of like snap my fingers, and a little like ethereal cube kind of like floats above my hand a little bit,
Yeah, cool.
and just be like little parlor tricks such as this.
Okay, why don't you roll deception? Because I assume you're implying that that's all you can do, is what it sounds like you're implying.
Just answering the question.
But like it has the.
You're leaving out some important
notes.
information.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a 12, not a 13. A 12.
For the record, Renister was proposing that not as like leaking information, but more as like, you guys like the same thing. You guys bond.
But either way, wording wise, to a scholar, the arcane arts are a very specific thing. It is arcane magic. So even if you didn't do it on purpose, he takes it that way. Because I didn't think you were intentionally blowing his cover either. It's just like he hears arcane arts. As someone part of the arcane assembly, that means
I'm still trying to figure out what the level of cover I should have, and so
that's fair. You don't really know.
I'm posturing as being like the mom who's like, you both play baseball. You both like that. Talk about it.
He goes,
my mom, don't tell me to play baseball.
He goes,
I'm not very good at it.
Impressive. All I can do is this, and he just like smacks his book, and it disappears, and then he puts his hands out in front of him and holds them out, and the book just reappears.
That's impressive too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I sort of hold up my shield in one hand and like pull my poncho aside so we can see the mace hanging at my side. I'm like, I mean, I have these as well. Hopefully it won't come to that, but
Hopefully.
yeah.
Do any of you know how to read a map?
I'd assume I would.
I can read a map.
He pulls out the map he was looking at.
Do you not know how to get to where we're supposed to go?
I know how to get to it on the map, but I don't know how to get to it in the forest.
Got it.
Because on the map, it's pretty easy. He
I'm
points
assuming
out
I would have
where it is.
knowledge on how to read a map.
I mean, all of you can read a map,
Okay.
yes. It's just whether or not you can do what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Is get from...
Use it to navigate.
Yeah.
Will this
it
be
is-
survival?
I can do
Yes,
that.
it is worth noting that this map
I wouldn't.
immediately looks very old and worn, and it's clear that he has a part of a map that is just kind of the area around Koi, and there is a big marker and a crudely drawn, literally stick figure-esque of a stick woman, kind of, in an area roughly to the east of Koi.
Can I attempt to read it?
Yeah, absolutely. And someone's going to have to make a survival check to try to get you to where
I
he's
would say if it wouldn't be survival, if it was something in terms of navigation, if navigation's always survival, then I will not.
I will
check.
let you roll
But I literally was a navigator.
Yeah, I'll let you
And
roll
Although it's
sea-
not the ocean, it's like
I'll let you
Similar skill
roll
set.
seafaring lore on your check to aid him on his survival.
Is the map religious
with
at
a
all?
very
Sure.
low DC.
How does aiding work again?
basically, you're just meeting a DC, and if you don't, if you critically fail, you hinder with a minus to the roll. If you fail, nothing happens, or if you succeed or critically succeed, he just gets bigger bonuses.
I'm not familiar with jungles, but I'm very familiar with maps.
Yes.
Sorry, man. That's an 8.
That is just the DC, so technically it is success. So you get a +3 circumstance bonus because you have a map, so it already give you +2, so +3 to survival.
16.
Okay, forward would you guys go? Out of town.
Are we on like a road or a path or?
Yeah, it is more of a walking path than a road because there's really never any reason for someone to leave. The east gate is kind of behind buildings. It's more of a gate. Maybe a carriage could fit through it, could like squeeze through it, but there's not really much. It's more of a gate that is to allow the guard, if they need to go east to do something, to get out. Prykkys has papers though to allow him to leave, even though they like told him not to do it by himself. He has assembly papers that allow him to leave through the gate, so he shows it to the people there. And they give a nod. They don't say anything specific because you guys are there. And at least one of you, Renisteer, looks really capable, visually at least, with his armor and shield and flail. So they let you out. Out you go. Who wants to roll for the weather today?
Sure.
Sorry.
8.
8. A normal rain. -2 circumstance penalty to perception checks, which yours is mitigated, and yours is mitigated by 1, so -1.
My
So you
pride
have to raise
doesn't
that.
allow me to wear
And
that.
then anything further than 50 feet away from you guys is considered concealed. Not for you, obviously.
So if Phosphorus, are you sort of taking the front then with the map, kind of like?
yeah, he would
leading the way?
kind of have to be the front.
Okay.
If he's
I would probably hang
map.
back a bit, with Prykkys, and just sort of make conversation. Just be like, so you work for the assembly?
Mhm.
And what is it?
Well, I exist within the assembly.
Yes. You are a hired out
do my own
contractor
work.
by then, sort of. Do you get paid by them?
No.
No? Where do you get your funding?
What are they? Investors.
Investors. I
Yes.
squint. I'm just kidding.
You could tell it was more of the DM and him couldn't remember the word. That was
Yes.
not meant to be
Okay.
like suspicious. He was supposed to be like investors.
Subscribe
So-
to my Patreon.
So do you? So on your OnlyFans, no. But
Cat feet pics.
Oh no.
so Prykkys, on your in your research, you just have investors that are interested in just letting you do whatever you want, or do they tell you what to research?
So the assembly has broad investors that the assembly higher ups then give money to. I don't know any of the investors. The assembly gives me money for my work.
Okay.
Some of the more important, well, not important. My work is important, but more known jobs that we do. The heads of those meet with the investors, but I just get my payment from the assembly as a whole to do what I do.
Cool. So what sparked your interest particularly about this? You think there's a dead dryad?
Yes, well, I study the dead. So
Like the dead of any
a
kind.
place where, specifically not this comes up a lot. Not undead things. Don't
The things that stay dead.
know or do anything about that. Yeah, just death in general. Yes.
Interesting.
So a place where a protector of a woods has died is very interesting to me.
Are you a religious, Master Prykkys?
No. A man of books more than religion.
Fair enough. I only asked because I noticed in the chapel last night that Grimm is one of the proponents of. They have a shrine specifically towards them, so they are much more prominent here.
Yeah, I'm aware of a great deal about Grimm. Just due to my work, because most things go to the boneyard. But
Certainly.
I'm more interested in specifically what happens to the world when things die.
So what takes place in something's absence?
Yeah, so
In a
less just a normal person dying, but more magical or mystical things when they die. Like something that protects the forest and resides within something. What happens to the place that it leaves behind when it dies? There's a lot of things like that in the world.
What's the most interesting thing you found so far?
Hopefully
Like a
this.
fun fact. What about before this?
Tell me 5
Before
fun
this?
facts about death.
Before this, well, I don't know if you know this, but most undead, when they are taken from the boneyard, the reason why they have no sentience is because the trip back from the afterlife kind of gets rid of it for them. It takes a very high-level wielder of magic, normally arcane, occult, or divine magic, to bestow sentience on something that has come back. In terms of specifically my field of things of what has happened when it's died, I haven't made too much progress because most of the places that happen are not within the city, and I'll be honest, I don't like it out here.
What do you know about the sentient kind of undead?
I know they're sentient.
Nothing beyond that?
Not really, other than the reason they're sentient is because their soul is kept intact when they return.
Not to be the outlier here, but Renister, or I guess Phosphorus, any of you, have you guys been around undead before? I've only heard stories.
No.
Professionally, yes.
I've examined them.
I have a passing knowledge.
Oh, that is your answer to Prykkys. Okay. No,
Interesting.
I've examined them.
Are you
Most of the work.
They're mostly just like
I get
like
it
zombies and stuff, right? I mean,
Yes.
Well, everything from a zombie up to a lich.
what's a lich?
It is a very powerful, very intelligent kind of undead.
Oh,
You know,
one of the
this
sentient
is-
ones, like you were just talking about.
Yeah, yes. You know, speaking to you guys, this often happens a lot with my work of where, just due to the nature of undead being more prominent than the study of things dying, I've kind of picked up some of the undeath things just because it comes up a lot when you bring up the dead in a magical sense.
Sorry if I'm asking too many questions. I'm
No, it's fine. I love talking about it.
when it comes to my magical abilities, my abilities might outweigh what my knowledge is in that area of any of those kinds. I'm not much of a formal study, so when I hear things about undead and sentience in the boneyard and things like that, that's something I haven't quite had a lot of conversations about those.
Well, necromancy is technically outlawed for the assembly, so
What is your thoughts on it? Are you strictly impartial and from a researcher's perspective, or do you have some sort of...
like ethically,
He's trying
Yes.
to convert you.
ethically, I don't know, but academically, I can't deny the practicality of knowing the ins and out of how it functions.
I mean, it seems like if you could raise people from the dead, why wouldn't you?
Well, it is not an easy thing to do.
Because it's magic.
Even the-
lots of
Also,
even things
there,
are hard to do.
there are many that would harness that ability.
Push-ups are hard.
There are many that would harness that ability to oppress others. That is where I find extreme fault in it.
Interesting.
The issue that most people have through talking that I have found is that most raising of the dead does not take into the consent of those being raised. And when a soul is ripped from the boneyard to be turned into a zombie per se, that soul is irreparable or very close to irreparable in terms of it losing its sentience. When it returns to the boneyard, it does not return the same way if it returns at all. So I think that's where most people take issue with
It doesn't come back like you remember Grandma. She comes back a little different.
Yeah, like if
Kinda wanted to eat you
if
and
I were
stuff.
to die, go to the boneyard, be turned into a low intellect undead, then die as that low intellect undead and go back to the boneyard, I would not be the soul of Prykkys. I would be the soul of a zombie or a skeleton, which
Interesting.
is not it's just not the same. It robs the soul of its intelligence in a way.
How does one research a place where you can't go unless you die?
There are ways to peer through veils and such.
Really?
Yes, yeah. I've never
That
done it
is
or
insane.
done
Huh.
it, but there's some in the assembly that can.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but because you kind of, like I said, necromancy.
If there is an afterlife, you
technically
usually have to
illegal.
die to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually.
Yeah.
I don't recommend.
Well, sorry, I don't mean to get religious or not. I don't know what category this falls under as a conversation, but
More academic, I would say.
academic, spiritual.
I mean, I've picked up many people here view it as a very religious thing, which I find odd because it's just how it is. But
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's interesting to hear what you do for a living. It's a fascinating field to study.
Have you been on many excursions like this?
no, this is my first.
Okay.
Or just walking through the jungle.
I've done a lot
backpacks.
of research in Wakuzana,
Got
not
it.
a lot of field research.
I just wanted to know if you actually ran into undead outside of here.
No, sometimes we'd study them at the assembly, the Great Hall in Wakuzana, but I've never seen one not unliving.
in its
so to
natural
speak.
habitat.
Yes.
What is the limitations that are put upon your research as far as what you can and can't do, especially in the field of undeath?
Well, we're not allowed to raise anyone. We're not allowed to
Pre-existing
practice
undead,
necromancy.
I'm sure.
But we have never had the chance to. We've never examined a living undead or unliving. But we,
One that moves.
yes, many dead subjects have been discovered. Basically, my research is only restricted by the laws of where I am. Like, obviously, I study death, but I don't want to, nor should I go around killing things. Yeah, there's not really too many limitations.
Phosphorus, how far on the map, like based on your readings of that, how far away are we from this site where the Dryad is supposedly at?
Can I make an educated guess with this old
He
map?
he would have told you it's about a day.
Yeah,
and
I'd like to make my own judgment.
Yeah, we'll take your survival check from before. That seems about right. It's probably a little closer than he gives it credit for, but so probably somewhere between 6 to 8 hours of travel is what you're looking at. And you're leaving early morning, so you'll probably get there late afternoon. You'll probably need to camp, but you are already aware of that. But just one night, most likely.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna chill and keep on walking.
Okay.
Occasionally glance at the map, I guess, if it, I don't know, if we get to
Yeah,
a point
every
where
so
we have
often.
to like discuss it, or we come to an impasse in the road or something.
So yeah, eventually the path, you kind of need to diverge from the path because while it is east, it is just a bit northeast. So you kind of have to start just making your way through the undergrowth. But you make good time because your survival role was quite competent. And eventually you find yourself coming to the spot marked on his map, which is the edge of a small clearing of the jungle undergrowth. There is about 20 feet into the clearing. The ground dips and it gradually slopes down until it reaches about 7 feet of depth. The divot it's kind of like a big crater. It doesn't look like a crater as in something like smashed it there, but it's a big, roughly circular divot about 60 feet in diameter, 7 feet deep in the middle. And there's a couple feet of rainwater in the very bottom of it that has just accumulated over time. There are a couple small bits of foliage that is growing where the water, the 3 feet of water stops and the slope is covered in undergrowth. A couple monkeys swing by ahead. It looks pretty much like if you didn't know that this was a specific place on a map, you would just think that this is just a place where it slopes down and a little pond gathers. But other than that, nothing much of note.
Prykkys, is this the spot?
Yes, I believe so. No big tree though, which is what I was expecting.
Could this circle be where a tree was? Could someone have stolen a tree or
I mean, anyone, if you're big enough, you can steal anything.
There might be some remnants of the roots if it's where it was.
Yes, I'll have to look. And he starts to
I'll
take
start
out
setting up camp
a bunch of
while you guys
little-
do that, if that's all right.
vials and things.
Can I assist him just to make things go faster?
Yes, yeah.
I'll just-
Absolutely.
I'll just,
You
like-
can make a nature check to assist him.
I'll just like kind of keep an eye on the perimeter to make sure nothing's scooting about.
17.
Boot scootin' boogie. 17.
It's tree men and they're wearing boots
They can dance.
and they boogie.
If you want to. They can leave their
Those
friends
trees
behind.
Yeah, so you guys,
So stupid.
you help Prykkys. Basically, you are the person who like hands the scalpel and stuff. He goes around and basically just collects a bunch of samples of dirt, foliage, some of the water. Much to his dismay, he does get into the water and like fully submerge and look in the bottom and such. He pulls out these little, they're not quite swim goggles, but they're pretty close to it so that he can like open his eyes underwater and not be in discomfort. But you hear him taking notes and muttering, and you would pick up that he determines that in fact a dryad did not live here. It was a naiad or naiad. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is basically the water form of a nymph, one that resides in a lake or a pool or a pond or something. But yeah, he collects his samples. You are a great help in that. And that would take until nightfall, and it's time to rest. And
I'll
you
just-
guys just want to be.
I just would have
You
been
set up
setting up
camp.
everyone's tent.
Yep, and then you are just on guard.
I was doing the
Yeah.
perimeter.
Could I have found stuff? My survival sucks ass. Dude, does anyone have anything to like start a fire with? Can I try to start a fire during this time?
You could
that we
attempt
can
to, yeah,
gather around.
for sure.
Actually, we're literally in a rainforest,
Mhm.
so
it would be very hard to, but
no, I'm good actually.
okay.
Can I set up, or if Minister would let me snag it from his pack, the water catcher?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd
So
hand
while
it
you're
to
standing
you,
guard, I'll
You've
just
also seen it set up, so it's super
Yeah.
easy set up, and
Okay.
it's not. It's just normal rain, so it's not hard to find a spot where it would catch and filter enough.
cool.
Um,
I'll just be sitting sort of with like the flap of my tent open so I can see out, but I'll just be sitting in there.
okay.
Writing
Yeah.
my journal,
I assume
eating snacks.
Prykkys also does have a tent. You guys just want to set up in like a 4 tents, just facing
Yeah.
a middle point.
Yeah, and I just want to talk to Renister and essentially just say, hey, when you feel like taking a break from staying to watch and want to go grab a bite to eat, just let me know. I can take a turn if you need me to.
I appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah.
So, Phosphorus, you and Prykkys wrap up. Both of you returning him way dirtier than before. You kind of the same amount of dirty because you're always pretty dirty.
Once
And
it's
he
nightfall, I'm
puts
going to light
all
that
of his-
lantern and just have it sort of like in the middle of our
Yeah,
little
perfect.
circle of tents so that we
Yeah.
can at least see each other and talk to each other and stuff.
To remind you, the lantern gives off 20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light.
Yeah.
Past that.
I just
And
want to like, if I
And
can
it-
find like maybe even his staff he uses as a walking stick, just set it on top of that. So it's like
Yeah,
off,
he can.
off the ground a bit.
He feels he's totally okay with just like planting it in the ground so
Just
it
so our
can
campground's
sit
lit
a
up
bit.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But yeah, he returns. He begins to just like clean himself a bit. He does lick himself clean, as a cat would. And he sits into his tent and he
That is
says,
vile.
"Do you require me to help with watch?"
Not if you tell us a good ghost story.
I'd okay. I
Forgive
can
me.
try.
That was mostly a joke.
Forgive
You
me.
can if
okay.
you want to.
I would prefer to just help with watch if that's what it takes.
Forgive me for saying so, but you don't seem the fighting type. Am I correct in assuming that?
No, I would rather never get in that situation, but I am quite observant.
Certainly. Maybe it is for the best that we handle the watches.
I mean, he could just get us up.
This is true, but
We literally got hired to keep watch, so we should
Yeah.
probably just keep watch.
I would feel more comfortable if there was someone ready to defend if needed.
Minister, you've been watching for a while now. I could take the first watch if you want to get some rest.
Yes, that might be for the best.
Did you find anything cool under there? Did you find the body, or do dryads leave behind?
No,
bodies?
they don't. Normally, they don't leave behind bodies, but the soil, plant, and now confirmed didn't get much from the water because that's probably not the actual water that was left behind. But when a creature of such condensed primal energy and magic ceases to exist, it fundamentally changes the makeup of all of the flora and fauna around the area. Well, more the flora than fauna, because I assume there wasn't any animals around when it passed. So I won't know too much without further research, but I think I'll at least learn something.
Okay. As I stand up to take the first watch, can I use detect magic on the pool real quick?
Yeah. You send out a pulse?
So I just sort of like make a few hand signs and sort of cast my hands over the top of this pool and I sort of kneel over it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get anything?
No ping.
Okay.
Because if you, just remind you, if you remember the level of the magic that you have, it just sends out a pulse and it lets you know if there's magic within range. No
yeah,
specifics.
It's just 30-foot animation.
Yeah, but no, you get like right towards the center. Not without go. I assume you don't fully submerge in the water.
No,
You can if you
I just want to
but
stand by the edge. And
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay.
No ping or anything.
Sounds good. Then I will just proceed to take watch.
Okay.
That lamp lasts 4 hours, right?
Yeah, so you would need to light it 3 times for all of you.
Okay.
So
It's already been lit once.
Yeah, so you will need 3 jams worth for all of your watches.
Okay.
Towards the end of the last watch, last couple hours, but you need it for the first couple anyways, the sun will start to rise, so it'll probably be dim light anyways, but
Okay.
yeah. So you take first watch.
Yeah.
The rest of you eat your rations. There's no fire, so it's probably just hardtack and whatever you got. And then you go to sleep. And you are left in the bright, dim, and darkness.
All right.
Bright light, dim
I'm
light,
just sort
and
of
darkness.
kind of like walking laps, keeping myself awake by
Just moving around.
moving kind of my arms huddled around, my hood up,
towards you.
arms crossed, hood up, and just walking around in the rain,
Okay.
seeing if I can see anything or hear anything, I suppose, or feel anything.
Yeah, so as you kind of walk around camp, as you're making your rounds, if you're just looking at an aerial view of the camp, right? As you make your rounds on the south side of it, you hear a bit of noise to the north side, just like rustling a little left to. If the camp, again, if you're looking at it from the top, the big crater, we'll call it, the big divot, is north of the camp of where you guys are camping, probably
Okay.
about 20 feet to the
This is
divot.
the south side.
Yeah, and you are walking on the south side, and you hear movement kind of northeast a bit, just a little bit.
I kind of just make my way over that direction. I'm gonna grab the lantern off the like staff as I walk by, and just kind of set it on the ground next to my feet and look, see if I can see anything.
As you make your way over there, I would like everyone to roll for initiative. As you, Eamon, look out in front of you into the darkness, you now can see kind of slightly behind a tree in the undergrowth. Very quickly, you just roughly see the shadow cast from the lantern, a rough humanoid figure you just catch. This is still technically hidden to you, so you
Just
can't get
catch
a
it
good look
barely.
at it, but you are aware of like the kind of 5-foot area that it's in. However, as you look out, you just feel something sharp, 3 sharp things just stick into your back, as you see movement through the camp of something, and in your back are 3 kind of Senbon-sized splinters.
Damn! Ouch!
And you take
I go unconscious immediately.
5 piercing damage
Nice.
as another volley of them come, but this time
Oh no!
they fly.
Renastair.
You're aware
Renastair.
that they're coming, and you move your shoulder just a bit for them to just graze and hit your poncho a bit. And if you take a quick look behind you, and you can now see humanoid figure about 20 feet back from the south side of camp, made entirely out of bark and wood, roughly 5 feet tall. There's an unnaturalness to their movement, almost like a newborn who isn't fully comfortable walking yet, and it attempts to hide and succeeds. You see it kind of just duck behind some undergrowth in a tree. You're aware of kind of generally where it is, but not its exact location.
Okay.
And then now it is your turn. So there is
So
two
the
hidden.
action to let everybody know, that's an action, right? To like yell?
Yes.
Okay.
They still need to pass a perception check to wake up if you yell, but it is not a hard one to pass.
Okay, I just want to be like, guys, phosphorus, come on. There's something happening.
2 perception checks, just normal with your normal perception.
16.
16. Sorry. Was
Okay.
it a 13 or an 18? I couldn't tell.
You're good.
Just like, woodsmen, guys. And I, so is that one action?
Everyone wakes up. You hear movement in all of the tents. So that's one action, yes.
Okay. And then I would like to raise my shield.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just like to move, sort of in, if I can use my movement to get in front of Prykkys' tent. I want to stand in front of his like tent flap and have my shield raised while I'm like looking around and yelling for everyone.
Yes.
Just to like kind of just, do my job.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Be a meat shield.
Prykkys gets up. He's next in his tent. He stirs awake and he's like, "What?" He sees.
Is this an action to like say something to him or
no?
So I just want to be like, stay in there. It's okay. Stay in there.
He like just stays there. And I
That'll
guess
be
he'll
it for my
hold.
turn, yeah.
He'll delay in action in case anything comes. If anything comes and gets in the tent, he'll just like try to bop it.
I hope as I turn, he sees the spikes in my back and maybe wants to help or something.
Told him not to.
I told him to stay in his tent.
Phosphorus, it is your turn.
It is my turn.
You awake.
I wake. I stride out of the tent.
Okay.
I just say like, I don't know where they are, but they were right. They're here somewhere.
Can I take a look around?
Yeah. Take the seek action.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So is that just perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay. Yeah, you do hear you don't notice anything from the southeast, but from the northwest of the camp, you do hear and kind of see the rough humanoid figure tucking itself
How
behind a
far
tree.
away?
20 feet. max.
Perfect. I throw a bomb.
Okay. Make me a flat DC 11 check first, because it is hidden.
Oh, I was
Just
gonna
flat.
I was going to bomb the area.
Yeah, I
Oh.
still need a flat to see if the non-splash hits.
Perception. That's a
No perception, just a flat
Oh,
DC
10.
11
I got
check.
10.
Yeah, so you will hit it with just the splash damage. And what are you throwing?
alchemist fire.
Okay. You look around, you hear the movement, and just click and then push the cork in and throw it. And it does illuminate that area a bit. Nothing really catches on fire, but there's a burst of illumination, and you see for the first time, but Eamon, you see another woodsman over there.
Over where? Sorry.
To the north.
Okay.
The one
by
you have not really...
by the little pond.
Yes.
So
yeah.
there's 2 then?
Yeah, they're basically on opposite sides of the camp. Southeast,
Gotcha.
northwest.
There's 2 that we know of.
Yeah, and it
They're
kind
not
of hits
babies.
besides it, but the explosion, the wave of flame hits it. And Renesteer, it is your turn.
I will stride out.
Okay.
And I'm assuming I don't know where it is because he's the one who...
No, both things are undetected to you. You have no idea where anything is
Okay.
because no one has pointed anything out.
Then I
in
will just
the
ask a
quick
general.
burst of flame.
I'll just ask a general. Is anyone hurt?
No, little, but not bad. Don't worry about me. You're fine. Or I'm fine. You're fine too.
Yeah,
Not that
that's
you don't
not-
look good. You look great.
Panics that he offended Renesteer in the heat of combat.
Because of this, I'm just going to lay on hands.
I
Okay.
talk to get out of conversations.
Yes,
I just grab you by the face and heal you.
yeah. So you heal just 6, I believe.
6 health back.
Yeah.
Back to full health, baby.
So it looks as
And you
if...
gain +2 status bonus for your AC for 1
Oh,
round.
that's good. So your AC
does
is
that
now
mean?
at...
so I gain 2.
Yeah, so your AC is now at 18 until the the start of Renesteer's next turn.
I say with your hand over my face.
Because you raise your shield. Yeah. And the same, you see as he reaches towards you, now you've seen her full form, but that platinum, shimmery, ethereal woman's hand almost stretches out on top of his scaly hand and it touches you, and then
I have to ask him about this. This is
the
fucking
ethereal, the platinum ethereal magic kind of just runs down your
weird.
back.
So my AC is temporarily 18.
Yes, because you have your shield raised and
I have
plus
that
2.
lady tickling my spine.
Yeah, and the wounds
Tickle,
heal
tickle.
as the splinters just kind of fall out naturally as the wounds close.
Ah.
I will take position
2 actions.
next to him and raise my shield as
Okay,
well.
perfect.
Shield wall.
The phalanx! Nothing will break through.
I try to be really cool, kind of
one-
lock mine in with yours, but it's really uncoordinated, kind of awkward.
The
This is what you do. I've seen the movies.
The woman's hand comes out and slaps you in the face.
The
Get
woodsman
away.
that Phosphorus threw a bomb at is going to shoot some splinters at him, and it misses. It attempts to, kind of as it stands out and shoots the spikes, it ducks back behind the tree to hide, which it succeeds at, and then
God damn it.
attempts to sneak, and you all just lose it. You have no idea where it's gone.
Man, what a relief. I think they ran away.
Must
And
have
then we
been
go
the
back
wind.
up to the top, which is the woodsman on the southeast, which is undetected to everyone and hidden to you, Eamon. And it is, I guess since you're the only one that's shown hostile action, it is going to shoot at Phosphorus. Man, I'm fucking up your names now.
I mean, they're very
Oh
similar.
no, they're gonna shoot their Cinnabons.
I hate you. Which hits,
Bastard.
and you take 6 piercing damage.
Yeah, bastard.
So as you're looking to the northeast, same thing. The splinters just right into your back, 3 of them. And then it'll do it again, which hits. You take 4 piercing damage. So a quick 2 volleys of them. Thunk, 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 thunk. And this thing is now detected by all of you. And it will stride in just around. It is now just in the middle of the camp. As you see, its hand that shot the splinters as it runs forward morphs into from the elbow up morphs into just a blade. It sharpens. And Eamon, it is your turn.
Okay.
Are you bloodied, Phosphorus?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I see Phosphorus getting spikes in him.
Yeah, there's
Bloody.
a good 6 spikes in the back of his fur, and you see the whitest part of his fur, which is the back, get a tinge of crimson to it as blood pours from his wounds.
Is asking if he's okay. Actually,
No, you're good. No.
I go, Phosphorus, you okay? You need help? Do you actually hold your thumb up like that?
Yeah.
Wavering.
Oh, I already paid for those elixirs. I can't give them back. I cannot see any of these creatures, correct?
No, one of them,
is-
all of you can see. It's basically right by all of you. It's in the middle of camp with all of you. The other one, you have no idea where it went.
Okay. I would like to sort of step out, and I'm just going to use electric arc
Okay.
on this creature. Cast a cantrip. So I stand out and say a few things as electricity pops in my hand that's not my shield hand. I want to step in front of Renestier, reaching my hand out, and just sort of shoots electricity lightning bolt type thing, just right across to it.
Is that a save or attack roll?
Electric arc. It is a basic reflex save.
Okay. We got a 15, which fails, I think, because your DC is 16.
Yes.
Okay. So if there's no additional effects, it just does full damage.
Okay.
I think the
So-
additional effects is that it can arc, but there's nothing in range for it to arc.
What is
to.
my spellcasting ability modifier?
4.
4? Okay.
It is your charisma.
Okay. 7 electric damage.
Yeah. So as you say, the bolt jolts out and it just scorches and ricochets off into a tree on its shoulder. There's a scorch mark there, but it doesn't look super wounded, i.e. it's not bloodied. But, is anything else? You have 1 action left, I believe.
Yeah,
You can spell.
Can I... I'm trying to see what I can do with 1 action. Is there anything I can do with 1 action to assist or help Phosphorus in any way?
Medically? Or just in general?
Just in general. If it's not going to be medical, like a roll of any kind, can I hold it to do anything or no?
You
No.
can raise your shield.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
not much you can do to help Phosphorus, but...
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
raise my shield. I know he literally has healing things on him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You raise your shield.
yeah. I just step back in the shield wall and raise it up again.
Prykkys remains in the tent holding a swipe of his cat claws in case anything breaches the tent. And then it is Phosphorus.
Hold!
Your
I
turn.
immediately drink both of my elixirs of life.
Okay.
Yep.
Which, yeah.
Because
What-
they're,
that
on,
would be-
they're on my bandolier, so
Yeah,
it's 2
yeah.
actions.
Yep.
3, 6, I get 9 back.
Yeah. So all of you see Phosphorus just click, click, pop off 2 vials from his bandolier and chug him down.
And I look,
biceps
I look
grow.
much better.
Yeah.
And then I will pop off a bottled lightning and throw it at it, like, fuck, and just toss it at it.
The thing that's right by you guys?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, ranged attack.
So that's 23.
Yes, that hits.
All right, so
Normal success.
it is now...
Flat-footed?
yeah, it is now flat-footed.
Okay.
That's 2 lightning damage. And it's just going to be him. I'm not going to spread out, though,
Okay.
because there's...
So 2, including this splash?
So 3.
Three?
Yeah,
Okay.
3 including
Just
splash.
just to be reminded, what is flat-footed again?
It reduces... it's a -2 status penalty to AC.
Perfect.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah. The lightning bolt from Aemon strikes its shoulder, and then Phosphorus chugs 2 elixirs of life and throws a bottle of lightning that just shatters on it, and lightning runs kind of all through it, and it gets... when either anyone's really hit by lightning or even a tree's hit by lightning, it gets that weird lightning pattern on it that happens across its whole torso, and it stumbles a bit.
I do like that even if it's not intentional, that almost came off like, magic, huh? Witness the
Yeah.
power of science!
Oh, yeah.
You think you have lightning.
And then it is your
I
turn.
bottled lightning.
Renisteer.
Okay, then seeing
Show me the way.
this thing getting shockied up, I'm gonna run towards it.
You don't need to stride at all. It's right by
Oh, okay,
you.
then
Come
I
back.
will-
Wait.
He just
Chill
takes
out.
off running.
Chill
So,
out.
I forget this. With Trip in particular,
My shield is quivering.
is it similar to Grapple where it doesn't do damage if I just hit it, trips him?
Yeah. You
Okay.
you don't want to trip because the only benefit you'll get is that it will be flat-footed, and it already is
Already
flat-footed.
flat-footed. Okay.
The only other benefit besides that is that if it wanted to stand up, it would have to spend an action to, but it's already kind of right by you.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you probably don't want to trip
Then
right now.
I will just swing.
Okay, yeah, go for it. First attack, first action, flail,
Okay, +5.
whirls at your side. Prepare to meet your omega. You're re-rolling? What'd you get in that one?
It was a 3.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2, so it doesn't hit either. That's 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it just ducks a bit.
Going for it again.
Okay, yep.
Nothing else to do.
What is your bonus on this one? If any?
0.
Okay,
And
what'd you
I got
get?
a 4, so.
A 4?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That is technically a critical failure.
Nice.
But there is no... I only tell you that.
You just maul
There's
phosphorus.
no change, but you're... weirdly
I'm
enough, you're a
just
bit
tired,
groggy
okay?
after just
Yeah,
waking up in
I
the middle
woke
of
up.
the night. And you
You guys woke
swing-
up 5 seconds
swing.
ago.
Yeah.
and I'll just raise
And
my
you got
shield.
Okay.
severely bloodied, chug 2 potions, and throw bombs.
Yeah, it woke me up real quick.
Ah!
Okay. End of your turn, we move to the woodsman that no one knows where it is, and Phosphorus once again. As you have now turned and thrown the bottle at this thing, from the position of the camp to give you guys an idea. Now from kind of directly the west, not the northwest, so it's moved to the west from a similar range. More splinters into your back.
Ace Ventura.
Take 5 piercing damage. And this time, you're just instinctively prepared for another volley of them. So once you get hit by them, you just shift your body weight a bit, and 3 more just fly past, kind of cutting the area between everything. And then this woodsman to the west is detected by all of you now, so it's just going to try to hide. And it fails. It's about 20 feet west of camp. It is just out in the open. And then we go to the one that is by you guys at the top of the round. And it will, with you swinging at it, it will swing at... Is it flat-footed until the start of your turn or the end of its
My
your
turn.
Okay. That doesn't really affect it right now, but because it's just attacking. So it feints. It pulls up its blade like it's about to slash, and then turns it into more of a stab. And you are considered flat-footed for this next attack because it succeeds at its feint.
Gotcha.
And it does hit.
Okay.
He studies the braid.
You take 6
I'm gonna use my reaction.
shield block.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you reduce the damage by your hardness of your shield, which is...
Its hardness is 5.
So you and your shield take 1 damage.
Okay.
So yeah, it swings in with its kind of sword arm, and you just get you knock it away with your shield in time, but just the vibration of it does a little bit of damage to your shield and you. And then it will swing one more time, but you're not flat-footed, and it misses. This time you perfectly deflect it with your shield. And then Eamon, it is your turn. So there is one.
So I see them in this mortal combat.
Yes. The one to the west of camp is barely wounded with the one bit of fire damage it took from phosphorus.
That was the one that just shot a bunch of stuff into phosphorus, right?
Uh-huh, yes. Are you bloodied again?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to end this thing quick if I can. I'm going to cast Horizon Thunder Sphere.
God, I love that name. Yeah, okay.
It sounds way cooler than it is.
Yeah.
So I sort of
How many actions?
crouch in my anime stance, 2.
My anime stance.
And you see this sort of spinning ball of like blue-white electricity start to form in my hand.
They're saying,
Pretty much. As it starts to sort of like almost make a noise, it spins in my hand like thunder.
Yeah.
And I just sort of like, Dragon Ball Z it forward, shoot it at him as you hear thunder.
At the one that's
sort of
right by you,
crash.
or the further one?
The
further one?
farther away.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Give me, I believe that one's an attack roll.
Yes.
Yeah, so just give me an attack roll, which is +6 for your spell attacks.
That is an 18.
That hits. Give me that damage, baby.
All right. That is 12 electricity damage.
Yeah, so just as he described the visual of it, and as it shoots out, basically being a streak of lightning with the ball kind of at the ball of thunder at its tip, it just flies through the whole left side of this thing. It basically evaporates the arm and left side of its torso, and the thing just falls lifeless.
So I essentially just kind of like do a little unintentional scream as that happens. Just
Yeah.
Then I'm just sort of
Very,
like sitting
very
there
heroic.
panting as like smoke comes out of my hand.
You guys have probably seen him cast enough magic this times that when he casts magic, it's very in the moment. There's not a lot of thought into it. He kind of just moves.
Only prestidigitation, huh?
I've never been able to pronounce it, but yeah, I guess. With my one action left, I am again going to raise my shield and just
Yeah.
kind of cower behind it.
Perfect.
shield wall.
Shield,
Prykkys.
shield wall.
Prykkys remains doing the same thing that he has been doing. He holds and hides.
I can turn and be like, "Are you okay? Everything okay back there?"
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, there's hisses coming from the tent.
He's just licking his asshole.
And then Phosphorus,
Leg
it's
up.
your turn. Hey guys, my bad. We had a little bit of an audio issue, but luckily the only thing we lost was this one Phosphorus turn. He just makes an elixir of life, drinks it for some health, and then chucks an alchemist fire at the woodsman. And we cut to the beginning of Renistir's turn.
I'm a swing.
Go for it.
Do you say anything cool while you do it?
I'm swinging.
Okay.
Just completely loses
I knew
the
that accent was fake.
I mean, oh no.
What'd you get?
That's a 18.
Yes,
Oh,
that'll
gosh.
hit.
Oh gosh.
Gosh, Mickey.
I just say it. Die, you twisted tree.
That's aggressive.
Dude, not cool.
Max damage. That is 9 damage.
How do you want to kill it?
I just want to like bring it down and just like bring the flail down like right through its head and just like smash
Split-
the little thing that pilots at the stone.
Yeah, so you bring it, you smash all the way down into its torso, and the stone doesn't like shatter into a million pieces, but it just cracks in half and it falls to the ground lifeless.
I look down at it and go, "That's for making me waste my card."
Oh, because you used
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
I was
I
like,
fucked it
I
up.
don't know what that means. With the woodsman slain and Prykkys safely returned to town, our party sets about finding more work. But for once, it's not Phosphorus, but Eamon who has caught the eye of the guard. And with the events of the past couple days fully breaking the ice between the party, some secrets and dark pasts need to be discussed. All of this and more on the next episode of Dying 5. If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.